The year 1942 marked a turning point in World War II, particularly in Southeast Asia. Imperial Japan, driven by its ambition for an empire, cast its eyes on Burma. The British colony, rich in resources and strategically vital, became a prime target. The Japanese invasion, swift and brutal, began in January. Japanese forces quickly overwhelmed the defending Allied troops. The speed of the Japanese advance was astonishing. They utilized superior tactics, air power, and sheer aggression. The British, along with their Indian and Burmese soldiers, were forced into a chaotic retreat. The fall of Rangoon in March 1942 signaled the initial phase of Japan's conquest. The once bustling port city fell silent, occupied by a foreign power. The Japanese victory was not solely a result of military might. Many Burmese saw the Japanese as potential liberators from British colonial rule. Decades of British administration had left many Burmese feeling like second-class citizens. The arrival of the Japanese, though initially welcomed, soon revealed the harsh reality of life under a new form of imperial control. August 1st, 1943, saw the proclamation of Burma's independence under a Japanese-sponsored government. This event, orchestrated by Japan, was more symbolic than real. The newly formed state of Burma, headed by nationalist leader Burman, was anything but independent. Real power rested firmly in the hands of the Japanese military administration. The Burmese government served as a puppet regime, carrying out the dictates of their Japanese overlords. They quickly realized that the Japanese were simply replacing one form of colonial rule with another. They controlled the press, censoring any form of dissent or criticism. The Burmese language and literature, integral to Burmese identity, were sidelined. The Japanese promise of independence had unraveled, revealing its true nature. The Japanese administration in Burma, far from being benevolent liberators, quickly established a regime marked by brutality and exploitation. Their primary interest in Burma was strategic. They coveted its resources, particularly oil and rubber, to fuel their war machine. To achieve this, they implemented a system of control that was both ruthless and efficient. The Kempeitai, the Japanese military police, became synonymous with terror. They operated with impunity, suppressing any form of dissent with extreme prejudice. Arbitrary arrests, torture, and executions became commonplace. The Burmese people, accustomed to British colonial rule, now faced a new level of oppression, one that struck fear into the hearts of even the most defiant. Economic exploitation went hand in hand with political repression. The Japanese implemented policies designed to extract maximum benefit from Burma's resources. Forced labor became rampant. Thousands of Burmese were conscripted to work on infrastructure projects, most notably the infamous Burma Railway. This deadly project, built to connect Thailand to Burma, claimed the lives of tens of thousands of Burmese and Allied prisoners of war. The once vibrant Burmese economy was crippled. Food shortages became widespread as the Japanese military prioritized their own needs over those of the local populace. Inflation skyrocketed, rendering the Burmese rupee almost worthless. The combination of economic hardship, political oppression, and social upheaval created a climate of fear and resentment, laying the groundwork for widespread resistance against the Japanese occupation. The Japanese occupation brought untold suffering to the people of Burma. The brutal policies of the Japanese military, coupled with their indifference to the plight of the Burmese people, created a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. Forced labor, already a grim reality for many, became increasingly common and increasingly deadly. The Burma Railway, known as the Death Railway, stands as a chilling testament to the cruelty inflicted upon the Burmese people. Thousands upon thousands of Burmese civilians, along with Allied prisoners of war, were forced to work on this project in appalling conditions. Inadequate food, disease, and brutal treatment by Japanese guards resulted in an estimated 100,000 deaths. Beyond the physical suffering, the Japanese occupation inflicted deep psychological wounds. The constant fear of arrest, the humiliation of living under a repressive regime, and the loss of loved ones to forced labor or execution left lasting scars on the collective psyche of the Burmese people. The systematic looting of Burma's cultural heritage added another layer of pain. Ancient artifacts, religious relics, and precious works of art were either shipped to Japan or destroyed, a deliberate attempt to erase Burmese identity and history. The Japanese occupation was a time of profound darkness for Burma. The atrocities committed during this period would forever be etched in the nation's memory, serving as a stark reminder of the human cost of war and the dangers of unchecked imperialism.